I remember maybe being a junior in high school or sophomore and talking to my dad about, where I might want to go, and he mentioned Stevens Point, and I said, no, I don't even know where that is. Just kind of off my radar, and I feel like next thing I knew, I was a senior in high school, and some of the coaches were at my softball games, and I remember going to a few different campuses, and there was just something about Stevens Point that it felt like the right fit. I felt like the city really embraced the university, and you could just feel the pride of the people that went to school there, where it just seemed like somewhere that could feel like home to me and that would be supportive of my education plus what I want to do as an athlete. The other thing that I really liked about Stevens Point was their intramural program. I worked for them for a few years and then met people through working there and then played the intramural sports, and I think it was just a great group of people. I feel like everyone that goes to Stevens Point, they were all friendly and outgoing and just wanted to have a good time in school and play sports. I think once I got to Stevens Point, there were some older girls that I definitely looked up to. Kelly Ruda was one of them. She was inducted in the Hall of Fame last year, the year before. Just girls that had a great intensity for the game and could keep their heads in the game and really taught us newcoming freshmen, what it meant to play pointer softball, which meant to be dedicated to the sport and be dedicated to your teammates and to work hard and to represent the school, with class. My favorite memories from UWSP is just being with the team. The games were great, it was fun to compete, but probably the most memorable moments were the hours we spent on the bus, the hours we spent to practice, and just bonding with the whole team. I feel like there might be 20 girls on the team, and even though maybe we had nothing else in common except for softball, but that was a strong enough bond. I would say one of my most memorable games, whenever we played Whitewater, it was always a battle. You never knew who was going to win. We always, both schools always had good teams. And I remember my senior year, we had a doubleheader against them at home, and we won both games. In the last game, I threw a no-hitter, so that was kind of a great way to go out and to beat a team that always gave us a little bit of trouble. I also remember my sophomore year, we had the conference tournament in Superior in early spring, and it was absolutely freezing out. And I remember losing early on, so then having to come back through the loser's bracket, which means you're going to play a ton more games than if you were to stay in the winner's bracket. And I remember we won the conference tournament, going to regionals, and it was after like 5 games in a day and probably 35-degree weather with winds off of Lake Superior, and just the excitement that we felt as a team after nearly freezing to death and being tired and exhausted, and just the feeling of coming together as a team and getting something done. It was a very memorable moment. I think I'm most proud of being part of some teams that played like teams. We acted like a team. So yeah, we had some great wins. There were the hard losses. We went to regionals, had a conference championship, which are all things to be proud of. But I think most of all, I'm just proud of being a contributing member to a team and helping out my teammates. Obviously, I would like to thank my dad, who caught for me the time I was 10 years old and took many balls off the shins for replacing the garage door after I put holes in it. So that took a ton of dedication, driving me around, finding me coaches. As a parent now, I can't imagine even having that kind of time. I definitely feel like it's, in a sense, a great closure to my career, even though I haven't physically played fast pitch softball in about 11 years. My last game as a pointer was a loss. As most athletes, their career comes to an end with a loss, which was sad, but it was okay. But I feel like this is a very positive way to wrap up my career. So just being recognized by the university is awesome. But it's definitely going out on a high note as opposed to 11 years ago losing that last game in Platteville. So it's definitely very flattering.